Louise Fili, the talented and innovative graphic designer and typographist. Louise was born in 1951 on the 12th of April in Orange, New Jersey. In her early years, Louise had an interest for design before she even knew exactly what it was. Her intrigue of design came from her interest in books when she was about 8 years old, in particular, writing one. However, she would find that she enjoyed designing the cover more than anything else. She says that when she was younger, she always wanted to create a book, but she would always get carried away designing the cover and sometimes not even starting the inside of the book. And from the books, she grew a strong intrigue towards lettering and typefaces at an early age. Fast forward to high school, she ordered a calligraphy pen one day that was advertised on the back of a New Yorker. And once it came in the mail, she taught herself the art of calligraphy. She would later be known in her school for making illumination manuscripts out of Bob Dylan lyrics to sell to her classmates. This is also where her entrepreneurial tendencies came to life. After high school, she went on to study art at Skidmore College. This is where she began to delve deeper into calligraphy and making her own books. Herb Lubalin, who is known as the king of typography, became a prominent influence in her career. She even had the privilege of working with him for a brief period, very early on in her career. She says that working with him was a grand experience and allowed her to really delve deeper into hand lettering. Also, growing up in an Italian-American household, when she was younger, on her first trip to Italy, she grew interest in Italian signs on storefronts and buildings, which soon became a strong interest of hers. Her Italian background was a strong social influence, as well as an inspiration. The Italian culture just seeped into her work and her interest over time, as previously stated. This soon allowed her to create a style that was more tailored to herself. Food was also an important component and served as another social influence and inspiration. She did an Italian cookbook for her final project in high school, after all, and her interest had remained since. Little did she know that in the future, her career would be food-oriented. In 1989, she opened her own studio named Louise Fili, Ltd. This studio specialized in restaurant brand identities, food-related logos, and food packaging. This is what made up a majority of her career. And in 2014, she published her own book predicated on her intrigue of Italian signs. She took many photographs and created a compilation. Many of New York restaurants' brand identities have been designed by Louise, and if not directly by Louise, definitely through her own studio. She has published many of her own books and co-authored dozens of books. Not to mention, while she worked for the Random House, she designed up to 2,000 book jackets. Her typographic style is very strong and has a very driven approach. She would be very inspired by older typographical designs and making it more current. So in summary, Louise introduced an innovative typographic style into restaurant branding. Never before was this really seen the way Louise did it. She was culturally influenced at a very early age, with her Italian-American household playing a major part, as well as the food from the cultures. She had and still has a passion for books, and in particular, book cover designs, as she demonstrates to be very talented in the domain of books. And lastly, Louise found massive success through her work, because she pursued something that she was fully passionate about since she was 4 years old. And that sums up Louise Fili's influential career and her impact on graphic design as we know it today.